I'm going to crack this thing open.
You know how like advent calendars for kids, those chocolates?
Yeah. Yep, we got one.
I'm like that with pumpkin pie.
No, it's my first Marvel movie. Everyone's like, oh my god, you got to see a Marvel movie in theaters. So I'm like, okay, I'll go see Spider-Man.
Maybe they should have been in there because I have some opinions on why Georgia is in the playoffs. They should not be in the playoffs.
Oh my god.
Why should
Not
they?
you.
They just lost.
Welcome to the Beer and Sports Podcast. We are part of the Finch Talk Sports Network. What is your issue right now?
I mean, I can do a show by myself. This guy stumbles over his first sentence. I don't know what's happening here.
There we go. Make sure to like and subscribe to both us and the network to stay up to date and catch every episode of us and all the great shows within the network. Follow us, Beer and Sports, at Mugs and Balls on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. And follow Finn's Talk Sports Network at Finn's Talk Network on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. My good buddy, I'm going to do the opposite. Josh Kimmel.
It's always the opposite.
Josh Kimmel US, and I am, of course, Josh Wingate 302 because I have millions of followers. That is actually not
302 followers. You do?
I do?
That's the number, right? You change your. That's a good.
Oh
idea.
yeah.
You always Josh Wingate in your follower count. That's what I'm gonna start doing. Josh
So
Kimmel
today we are
US,
going
1,000.
OUS.
500.
Okay. We don't need to hear this.
I have no idea what I have. I don't give a fuck.
So today, obviously, we're going to cover Dolphins offseason, get into the coaching change, free agency, do like a little roster overview and what we think the team needs, and a little free agency strategy maybe. But first, Kimmel, because he is such an alcoholic, it's not drinking water. What you need to do is get like a little seltzer,
Water.
so you can like pop it. You need like a little pop.
Listen, I know you're.
You need a little
years. No, you're
pop.
gonna do all that. No, look.
You need a little pop. I'm doing
drink
Old
beer.
Faithful here.
Okay, that's sequence.
Sequence.
I love those, but not only am I not drinking, I'm not eating bad. I'm not eating poorly, and therefore I can't because I can't do anything right now because I broke my back. My back is officially broken. I've been to the chiropractor twice in the past.
Did you break your back, or did the old wife break your back?
I'm gonna say deadlifts and squats broke my back. I'm so fucked.
So improper form. Gotcha.
You guy on. Oh, are we gonna? So walking on water. Does he want to turn this into a Tua show? Because we can. We can.
No, we don't need to turn this into a show.
I don't want to talk about it.
No.
Okay, walking on water. Josh Wingate hates Tua. Me.
You can go into the first episode of the Beer and Sports Podcast on Finn's Talk Sports Network and see exactly where we fall in line.
He
go
hates
back.
Tua. I love Tua. It's done and done. That's all you need to know. He thinks Tua can't make the throws, not a game changer. I think he's a great, brilliant young man who can make all the throws, make all the decisions. It's just we need to keep him healthy. Josh just hates him.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of his. And I think as we progress through this show later in the season, and the network progressed, everyone on the network basically hates him. So I was in this, I was on Revis Island over here, and then the network just slowly came over to the Josh Island.
I was going to say I wanted to see what he thought, but he does like the man. And I love the man too. And
I like the man. I don't like the player.
But the player was very elite when he played this year. People forget about that.
Yeah. But
people jerking off to Brock Purdy over here doing jack shit with nothing, while Tua's over here slinging, freaking dropping dimes to Tyreek on a weekly basis. I don't understand you people. I really don't understand you people that hate Tua. That's it. Moving on.
But first of all, I want to ask people out there. I mean, I got a nice sequence here. What's everyone else drinking? Because we are the Beer and Sports Podcast, so I'd like to know what everyone else is drinking. It looks like Walking on Water was drinking Kool-Aid a little earlier, but now he's moved on.
Dude, Kool-Aid, have you made Kool-Aid for your kids lately in the year 2023?
No.
Seriously,
no.
I can't find it in the store because I wanted to make some because I want my kids to understand, like, when they take a sip, they got to take that shitty sip where, like, it doesn't dissolve and it's like it just crystallize all together, the powder. Do you know what I'm talking about?
You didn't make it right.
Yeah, I know. No shit. I was a kid. So I want.
No, you didn't make it right as a kid.
Yeah,
so we got one coffee drinker. Is that like a coffee stout? Because I feel like we need to be pounding these poundables here.
Guys, chill.
If that makes sense.
Josh, chill.
This is my one day to drink.
Yeah, chill. All right. Hey, let's get into the actual free agency, the actual nonsense, because we do have. Look, we have no funds. When we have no funds, the Miami Dolphins are screwed.
They very much are. Like, let's skip to the end. Miami Dolphins are very much screwed. I feel like they are in a rebuilding mode. But let's first. Let's first topic we're going to get to is a coaching change. Josh Boyer is out. Vic Fangio is in. So Vic Fangio is going to be switching to more of the 6-1 tilt defense that he normally does, which is kind of a combination between a 4-3, 3-4 look-ish. It's a heavy blitz defense. I think this is going to be a good defense for the Dolphins altogether, but it's not it's not good. And as Brett says, they're over the cap right now. I thought it was a little more than $2 million.
Look,
I'm currently sitting on cap calculator on over the cap at 16.3 million. So that's what I know so far. But
and I'm at
I could be wrong on that.
They're 12 million. So no, who knows? Who knows? Can we get the Rams cap because they don't have one? Can we get that one?
Yeah. Well, I think it's the way that the GM is structuring contracts and moving contracts out and not afraid to move a larger name away and bring in bigger names. I think their GM, and he's a smart guy. He's previously from Atlanta. I just don't think Greer's the guy for the future. I don't know how he kept his job, really. He has structured his team to basically be high contract in a rebuilding mode because there are a ton of free agents on this team. I mean, I believe there is a total of 31 free agents. A lot of them don't matter, but you have guys like Brandon Shell, free agent, who played 72% of his snaps. No running back on the team right now. And I really feel like I felt like they have. It's just the offensive line just didn't play cohesive. It wasn't built for this offense. And that's what they really need to do. So I would think going into free agency, you need to really focus on that offensive line. But that's my opinion. What do you think about all this?
Well, what I'm thinking is that you said there's no running back on the team. There will be no one. But honestly, and Brett saying in the chat, Wilson and Mostert are good, just made of glass. Yeah, that's true, Brett. But the thing is, with the running back position, you can't be made out of glass in this offense. You just can't do that, especially with what McDaniels wants to do. This offense wants to do. You need a consistent running back getting consistent reps, and you're just not getting that because of lack of offensive line, and because, like you said, they're made of glass, and it sucks. And I'm kind of over it. I miss the days of the Ricky Williams. I miss the days of a constant, awesome running back. I miss that here in Miami. I thought we were getting that with J.H.I. and his 4-game breakout. Didn't happen. We thought we were getting that with Chase Edmonds when we paid him all that freaking money. That was a bust. I feel like it's a position they never knew how to address, and they still can't figure it out.
Well, if you're looking at the running back position, I feel like you have to kind of bring back what you had a little bit. I wouldn't be upset with the Mostert. I also think maybe, I don't know what he's going to get, but trying to think of his name, the running back in Philadelphia.
Miles Sanders?
No, the backup.
Boston Scott?
Yeah, Boston Scott. I think he would be a good addition to this offense. Really good receiving back. I don't think he's going to get a ton of money. He could. Someone might throw him some money just because when he has played, he's looked well. But I think he'd be a good addition to this offense as well.
I see a lot of these people out there on Twitter and on the internet talking about Saquon. Guys, it's not going to happen. It doesn't need to happen. I would love for a Saquon Barkley to play here in Miami, but it's not going to happen. But a lot of people are on that bandwagon, especially today. And no, Kareem, no.
Kareem Hunt, I think, is going to get too much money for what Miami can afford. I think Miami's building low salary players, people that can contribute. I don't think you're getting a big signing out of Miami this year. Go get Mostert. Go get maybe Boston Scott to shake it up, and then draft a running back later on in the draft. But I just can't see Mostert or like a big signing like a Kareem, or I've seen Saquon a little bit thrown around. I just can't see it. And if it happens, I will be fully shocked. And it's going to have to be. It would be to where Greer's like, I got to do something now and make the playoffs and do something in the playoffs and screw the future. It would definitely be that.
And I think that they should do that. They are in a position to do that. I think if Tua stays upright, they are a win now team. I think so. Josh, you're shaking your head no. I don't know if it's at me or if it's Brett down in the chat, but I will say this. Back on the running back position, Brett's right. He only overpays for receivers and offensive linemen. I get it. I don't want them to overpay for running back. I don't want any NFL team to overpay for a running back. Tony Pollard's going to get the bag. We know that. Saquon's going to get a bag somewhere. Don't be that team that gets the bag on a running back, or you'll end up like with Zeke, a rundown running back that's worth pretty much nothing at the moment. It happens all the time. Hey, like we have a guest on the show. She wants to talk about Frozen, Encanto. Maybe she wants to talk about some Moana.
It would be more so like Paw Patrol.
Oh, Paw Patrol. Sky. Oh, we have Sky in the background. But yeah, that's the thing is don't Miami. Come on, we don't need a running back that bad. But I do want a salt like Pacheco. We spoke about Isaiah Pacheco last we were together. Yes. Someone like that, a bruiser, someone that's going to cause havoc.
And I think you can get that later on in the free agency. But this offense, you need to have vision. You need to receive out of the backfield. And I think Mostert has that. I think Boston Scott has that. And that's just my guy that I keep hitting on because I just love the connection to this offense in him. But I don't think...
I don't like the Boston Scott. I don't like it. I don't want it. I don't like it. There's another guy... Because there's another guy here in Tampa where I live that's going to get cut. His name's Leonard Fournette. He's not going to demand...
And you want him?
I think he's great pass protection. I think he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think he's the main reason why Fournette was in Tampa was because Brady wanted a running back to protect him. What does Miami need? Something to protect Tua. We don't need glass running backs back there in pass pro. We need a Leonard Fournette. We need a banger. We need someone to freaking put their shoulders into someone's fucking legs or their gut or wherever they do, fucking just knock some people out and protect Tua. Because Mostert and Jeff Wilson, we're not capable of doing it. I don't believe in them. Give me someone like a Fournette who will get cut, who's not worth the $7 million he's owed this year, and will take a great discount somewhere in Miami with Tyreek. Come on, he wants to stay in Florida.
Do you really think he would take a discount? And do you really think former first overall pick, or not first overall, but first round running back,
who is paying him?
I don't know who's paying him, but someone is going to go out and pay him.
With running backs like Tony Pollard out there, Saquon out
So
there.
let's say this: Zeke is going to be a free agent. Do you think he's someone?
No one's paying him.
No one's paying him. But do you think he would be that option? Really good pass protector. I think that's the best asset he has. He's a better pass protector than Leonard Fournette. I don't know if he has the explosiveness to be a running back in the NFL anymore.
No,
but
I don't see him having that role anymore. I think he
can be a first down back, like a third down. No. I need a yard or two back.
Walking on water. You said we have that. We have that in what? We have a good pass pro running back. Who is it? I don't know. I don't know who it is. I'd like to know, honestly.
So tell me this, everyone in the chat, who would you like as the options in running back for the future? Because we keep saying, guys, let us know who you think would be a good. I feel like I can't tell if he's a Giants fan or a Dolphins fan, but thank you for returning because you were here previously.
Morris, yeah.
So
bring him back. I want Ronnie Brown. I think that would be.
Yeah. I thought Ricky Williams was that guy.
Rick Williams was that guy. Dude, the day Ricky Williams retired, I remember I was at work and I was playing Madden like the night before, and I beat this guy's ass. His name's Luke. And Luke came in the next day, like, I'm like, yeah, I beat your ass. He's like, at least my running back didn't retire because he wants to smoke weed or whatever the fuck he said. I'm like, he didn't retire, bro. Chill. And he retired. So that's my Ricky Williams story of the night. Moving on. I have some issues. I have some problems with the receiver room if you want to talk about that. But I'm gonna
let's talk about that because let's go right into that because I do as well. Let me hear what you have to say about the receiver. You go, buddy. You go.
Look. I thought it was a bad deal then. I think it's a bad deal now. And I think if they don't get rid of Cedric Wilson now, ASAP, what a terrible. He's getting paid more than Jalen Waddle, although, of course, the rookie deal, whatever. Yeah. But he's also completely freaking useless. Completely freaking useless. This is a guy who should be an instant cut. You put him on the trade value on our spreadsheet. I don't know what kind of value you're expecting to get from a guy who does nothing.
I don't know if it's necessarily trade value, but you gain more cap back if you trade him. So I'm trying to trade him for pennies possibly. That's my opinion. But if at the very least, if I have to cut him, I don't know if I'm straight up cutting him. Because I think you can get value out of Cedric Wilson. As a Cowboys fan, we did get value out of him. So there's a very real option of getting value out of Cedric Wilson. He's just got to be that fourth receiver. He's not the third receiver that you can expect from him.
Brett, I'm going to have to disagree with you. Waddle can carry that offense if Hill goes down, but Hill's not going down. He's not getting touched. The only way Hill's going down is a non-contact injury. Come on. No one's tackling him in open space or getting hit hard. But the thing is with Waddle is he's got to hone in on those drops. Those drops were killing him late in the season. He's got to be more confident with that. Maybe it was a Tua thing, not having Tua out there.
So he says that Alec Ingold, but that's the fullback.
Of course.
You're not going to really run him that often. More of a blocking style guy.
And that's like saying you got Juszczyk over there in the 49ers system. Yeah, they use him once in a while in the shotgun in the next to the quarterback, but they don't really do it often. But I'd like to get that because if you put Alex Ingold back there, you're kind of showing your hand. Yeah, he's just sitting back here. I'd like to get a Fournette guy who can get a good block. He did it with Brady for freaking 2 straight years. Block someone, boom, 2-yard out, he's gone for 15.
Yeah. So currently right now, as free agents are on the list, right now you have Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Cedric Wilson, and Eric Ezukanma. Numa. I don't know how to say his last name, but he's there. So those are your options currently at receiver.
What about my boy Sherfield? I bet his over-under every week, and I missed every week. That guy screwed me over.
Let me see what type of free agent he is, because he currently is a free agent.
But he was money, man. Like, he was making plays. But they do need
He's an unrestricted free agent.
All right, they need a solid wide receiver 3. I really do, and I don't think Cedric Wilson was that.
But
no buts. And I want to say this because I believe this is true, and I've been arguing with a lot of people. I've been arguing with a lot of people about this. If you don't have a 3, if you don't have a Tyler Boyd, if you don't have a Josh Palmer, a real Van Jefferson, a real number 3, and you're playing these, we're putting Craycraft, we're putting Sherfield, you need that solid guy in there at all times, like that Tyler Boyd, because that makes your offense that much better instead of cycling these guys in for reps. So they need a solid receiver 3, and I think they wanted that with Wilson, but it didn't happen.
He's not a solid receiver. Like, he's that fringe guy. Like, that's exactly what he is. Like, he can fill in potentially a week or 2 there, but he's the guy that you bring in 4 wide and then he's going across the field, maybe make a play. He was the product of a really good receiving core in 2021. Amari Cooper, can't think of their names, but they were all there as a Cowboys fan. Couldn't think of my receiver's name, but he was that 4th option that who am I going to leave open? It's that guy. So that's what you saw there, and that got him a lot of money. And I think they anticipated in Miami, okay, we got Waddle, we have Hill. That's going to leave Cedric Wilson a little more open. But I think you need to have a little better receiving core than that to make Cedric Wilson look as good as he did in 2021.
Yeah, I agree.
So.
And I'm looking at the wide receiver free agent list out there. It's disgusting. Jacoby Myers, Alan Lazard, like Juju Smith-Schuster. These are the guys. These are the top prizes.
They do.
A
guy to look out for, in my opinion, is on a future contract with Miami. No, I love Noah Brown. I do. I love Noah Brown. I would
He's
take
a free agent.
If I am Miami, I would snap on Noah Brown and leave Cedric Wilson in the dust. But future contract with Miami is Braylon Sanders. We saw him at the Senior Bowl last year. I think he has the talent. He just needs to develop a little bit more as a receiver. But we saw him. I think we kind of agreed. Braylon Sanders was kind of the star of the show at the Senior Bowl. So
I don't know if I agree with that.
I believe he was the guy that we're like, okay, this guy looks really good, making crazy catches.
No, he wasn't.
He looked really good. Who was your guy?
He wasn't my guy. But anyway, yeah. Look, we have a good question in the chat from Walking on Water. Are the Dolphins going to carry 3 quarterbacks?
Yes.
I think this was a question posed on Bill Simmons' podcast about a month ago. I believe it was during the. Actually, it was a month ago. It was during the 49ers game. It's like, why aren't more teams? You have 53 spots. Why aren't more teams carrying 3 quarterbacks, especially if one of yours already hurt? Like when Josh Johnson was in there and he got hurt. Like, why were they stuck with nobody? That seems like a terrible plan. I don't understand when the NFL went away from having 3 quarterbacks active on that day. I feel like the Dolphins or other teams should have that, especially with someone like Tua out there.
Yeah. So you 100% have to carry 3 on this Dolphins roster. Tua injury prone. Skylar Thompson isn't developed to the point where he can be that full backup quarterback. So I did see out there like a Heineke maybe. I would love that signing for this team. He would be a great backup, potential starter for Miami. What's that?
Nobody heard you because your internet. You turned into a robot.
Oh, you did too, so I wasn't sure. So you have Tua, you have Skylar Thompson. Skylar Thompson isn't developed to the point where he can be that true backup to where you can carry 2 quarterbacks. And then you have to go out there and get maybe like a Tyler Heineke or something of that nature. And yeah, I did say Heine.
Look, guys. You just said you have to go out there and get someone like a Taylor Heineke. That is the crown jewel. That is what the Miami Dolphins need. That's what the Miami Dolphins should go out. That should be their top priority. No more of this Teddy nonsense. No more of this Skylar nonsense. Yeah. You need a backup. You don't want a Sam Darnold. He's out there too. Mason Rudolph, pass. Gardner Minshew I'd look at, but I think he's sadly probably too expensive. I don't know. But give me someone like
I don't think he is with his showing. You think he is with his showing he did with the Eagles?
He had almost a full season of very good football. He was actually better than Trevor Lawrence's rookie year, but Trevor Lawrence is elite. And then he had one good game. He had one good game with the Eagles and one bad game. I think that he will get a job somewhere, not starting, but he needs to be a backup. But Case Keenum, come on, Brett. Is this 2017? Do we really need to do that again? Does anyone need to get Case Keenum? Is anyone starving for Casey Keenum on their team? Like I said, no. I would much prefer somebody like a Taylor, or even a Drew Lock. Drew Lock's more competent, and he will be cheaper than
that's true.
Some of these guys on this list.
What do you think about like a Josh Dobbs?
Look, again, we're going for guys that don't work. We're going for guys that we know don't work in the NFL. He will always have a job because he's athletic and he can make plays, but he's not.
I mean, he looked good.
Look, my thing is you look good when.
Here you go. When he played with the Titans this year. Do you not remember that game?
I remember that game. I started him in fantasy that week, so I had to.
But you guys, here you go. I will gift you Cooper Rush. So you're welcome.
I would much rather have Drew Lock.
Yeah.
Look,
I would much rather have. Yeah.
With the backup quarterback, you don't want to be in a situation where you have Skylar. I don't even want to say you want to have a chance to win in the playoffs with your backup quarterback. And you knew going into that game, Skylar and the Dolphins had zero. When Brock Purdy went down, you knew The 49ers had zero chance. You don't want that. You need someone better. You have to.
And I think that kind of starts with building your offensive line. This Dolphins team is going to struggle if they don't figure out something with this offensive line. That's what I have, in my opinion, as the number one need for the Miami Dolphins this offseason. I say that because you have current free agents. Like I mentioned, I believe Brandon Shell is one. A lot of backups right now. Michael Dieter, Eric Fisher, a lot of the backups. But then next year, you have Connor Williams as a free agent. I'm thinking you have Austin Jackson as a free agent. Robert Hunt is a free agent this year, I believe. So you're losing a lot of your offensive line depth and starters within the next 2 seasons. So you got to make that the number one priority, and you have to figure that out. Obviously, in my opinion, you're going to try and figure out a way to re-sign Connor Williams for a long-term deal. Ideally, this offseason. Brett is mentioning Mike McGlinchey, but do you have the draft capital to, or the cap space to do that? I don't think you do. So it's going to be interesting because he could go in as one of the top right tackles in this free agency period. So he would be overspent at that point. You're probably looking at guys that are going to go day 5, day 6. And that's just my opinion. Or potentially figuring out that starting position or these spots draft day. But you're going to also want to figure out depth along the way in free agency. So,
hey, can I specifically ask Brett a question in the chat?
Sure.
Your feelings on Jason Sanders and this? He's the worst kicker of all time. Can we get rid of him? Can't make a kick past 49 yards or 50 yards.
Hey,
I know he's on your cut list, Josh. That's why I brought him up.
Yeah, no, I think he's an option to be cut because he's making a lot of money for the performance he had last year. But Dan Bailey struggled to make anything over 49 yards, but he didn't get the nickname Dan Money Bailey for nothing. He was money.
Jason Sanders' money, if like 49 yards in, I swear he didn't make 150-yard field goal. I don't know if that's a fact. That's trash. That's trash in this NFL. It was so frustrating seeing him go out there every single time. 53 spots are up for grabs. That's not true. Tyreek has it logged up. Waddle has it logged up. Chill, Brett. All right, this isn't high school.
So at that point, I'm looking at the roster and I'm like, who can I get? Because I really do think this could potentially be a blow up and try and rebuild it as quick as possible. Blow up some key pieces, relieve some cap space, get some return. And I'm going to get so much hate for this. But what's the chances of, if you can get a first-round pick back for this guy, Teron Armstead, what's the chances of you going out and trading him?
I don't think you can. That's what are you going to get with that first-round pick that equals the same player value as him? Like that's my question to you.
I get that.
Besides,
I don't know
the money, but I wouldn't.
It's
even know
the
how
saving the money and get a younger player that potentially could play longer for this team.
And what's this whole show been about so far? Protecting Tua, right? That's this whole show.
It has been
technically like that's been the underlying message here. And you just want to give away one of his protectors. It doesn't make any sense, Josh. And not just give away, but what I'm saying.
No, it's not giveaway, but get a quality pick. I wouldn't do it if they're saying here's a second round pick. I'd have to get a first round pick in return for him.
I love Poppy Video's response. I fucking love that. The best thing about Jason Sanders was McDaniels thinking about him and saying, screw it, 4th and 3. Let's go. Start the hill. I love it. Yes. Keep Jason Sanders just for that. That's more fun. I mean, you're only giving away left tackle for a Oh, gosh.
Brett is so down on his Dolphins right now.
I know. I can tell.
Just wait till training camp rolls around and he'll be slightly more excited. Wait till draft days. Well, I don't know if draft day is going to get him excited because they have no picks. They don't have a first round pick. They were originally supposed to have 2. So that's the issue, and that's what I'm getting. Like that's the issue. It's the owner and GM issue. The owner being honestly dumb. made that situation to where they lost that first pick. And then trading away for Chubb, you got a really good player in return, potentially, if he can stay healthy. So, and that's the thing. And the good thing about Chubb is, and it makes me think, was Vic Fangio like an option early on? And they're like, okay, let's go get Bradley Chubb because the two mesh together. But it just stinks that you're getting older players, 27, 28, and then losing a draft pick in that process. And you're just losing the young players that you could potentially have to build this roster up and make it younger. And the turnover rate is just, we're going to replace it with older players. And I really do, like, I want to be fully transparent. I follow, in the offseason, I follow the Cowboys in Miami because my wife's a Miami fan. I want Miami to do well. I just don't like the current state of this roster and where it's heading towards. I feel like it's on a downward slope right now at where we're going and what it's looking like.
Very, very bleak there, Josh. Very, very bleak. That wasn't very
I just
at all.
With how the cap space is, with how how many, like, if you didn't have that many free agents, I would be like, oh yeah, no problem. But this roster is obliterated right now. You currently have 4 receivers, no running backs, 2 quarterbacks, one that we don't know what's happening to him next season. Yeah, he's probably going to play, but it doesn't look good for him long term as far as health wise. Skylar Thompson, who I don't know, does he make the roster next year with the way he performed? You have some tight ends, but one's probably going to get cut, Durham Smythe. So you're going with Hunter Long, Tanner Connor. Is that who you're going to go with? You currently have a starting offensive line and 2 backups. You have 4 defensive linemen. You have, it looks like, 2 interior linebackers and 2 pass rushers. The best thing looking for you right now is your cornerback position. But Byron Jones is probably going to be cut, which I get it. Like, he gave up on the team last year. He deserves to be cut. So that's just the situation that I'm looking at. And I'm like, okay, there's not a lot of cap space. Yes, we'll get rid of some players. We'll get upwards potentially if we can trade Agba. We'll potentially have about $40 million in cap space. Great. But I have a lot of roster space to fill, and that money only goes so far. I don't have the draft picks. I can't think off the top of my head. What do you have? Potentially 2 picks in the top 100?
You have
second, third round?
I'll tell you what you have. Let's pull it up. So the Dolphins have 1 second, which is pick 52, and 2 thirds, which is pick 78 and 85. So yeah, 3 in the top 100.
So 3 in the top 100. And where was the first one at?
52.
So that's a later first round pick.
Later second round pick.
Or second round pick, sorry. Yeah, I'm not feeling confident that I'm going to get a day 1 starter in that group. I might get someone that is a depth guy in there that has potential to be a starter. But at the same time, how confident am I in Greer's drafting? He hit with Waddle. He kind of hit with Tua currently right now.
Did he hit with Wilkins? Did he hit with...
He hit with Wilkins. Okay. But guess what? All of those are first round picks. You don't have one this year.
He's hit on some players, man. You're
I do think
Phillips is great. Like you're missing. He's hit. Like the Dolphins.
Was Jalen Phillips a first round pick? He was.
He was. I'm just saying, like, he's hit. But what I'm saying is, like, this past 3 to 4 drafts, been pretty good. And I mean, I'm not complaining about him. There's been some flops. There's been some great, surprises. But don't say that he's just a bad drafter. Like, we can go down. We have all offseason to do this. Josh, don't give me that look. I'm trying to be optimistic. I'm the happy person on the show. I'm not going to be negative Nancy like you. The thing is, though,
no, I'm being honest.
Oh, I know you're being honest, but you're acting like the Dolphins are the only team in this situation. The Bucs are worse. At least the Dolphins are back. The Bucs don't have anybody, and they're worse in the cap space. Way worse.
But they just won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, sure.
They have that luxury of being bad now because they did win that Super Bowl. They lost their quarterback. Dolphins haven't lost their quarterback. So why are we talking about them potentially like this? And I know it's just me right now. You're saying they're going to go win the Super Bowl. They're going to have parade down. I don't know what it is. I forget what road it is. It's the one. There's a Hooters right here, and then there's the beach right there. That's all I know about Miami. So, and as you look over,
all you know about Miami.
And as you look over the balcony in Miami, you just see nothing but like crazy cars just driving by
all day long.
Yeah.
Miami's wild like that. We didn't even bring up Mike Gesicki. We didn't even bring him up. And that's a problem because Brett was talking about Hunter Long. He needs to show up this year. Dude, I drafted. Yeah, I was going to bring up Holland too. Don't worry, Brett. Josh is being a dum-dum. But it happens. Hunter Long, I've had him on my freaking fantasy teams for like 3 years now or however long it's been. He better freaking show up because he was supposed to be something. And I know these tight ends in the NFL, they're hit or miss, big time hit or miss, like big time hit or miss, right? We think Trey McBride's going to be this big thing. How long did it take Travis Kelce to become Travis Kelce? Tight ends take a long time to do this. I feel like they need a good one because I feel like Tua targets his tight ends. And I feel like if we don't have a good tight end, I think that's a key piece to this offense. I think. Yeah. And I think that they didn't use Gesicki this year, and that was pretty bad. That could have been your third spot instead of this fucking Cray Craft and Sheriff's situation driving me nuts.
So while everyone is here, make sure to follow us, like us, subscribe to Mugs and Balls and to Finn's Talk Sports Network. Obviously, we're talking about the Dolphins offseason here. Josh Kimmel US, Josh Wingate 302. But I just, with everything we've said, this is the year for everyone that Greer has. This is the year that Greer gets the potential out of all the players he's drafted. You have to. Like, if the Dolphins are going to do something this year, this is the year that all his talented players that he's drafted are going to do something. This is
so like, I don't understand. I can't comprehend what you're saying because the Dolphins were 8-3 at one point. They were on top of the world. Tua was making an MVP candidate. Like, here I am, baby. Like, I am here, and he gets hurt.
But you also had 31 players that are free agents this year under contract.
What I'm saying is, like, you're acting like this has been. They sold out to win last year. Like, last year was it. Like, in my mind, it was AFC title game or bust. Like that in my mind when they were 8-3, it was like they're going to the title game because they can, and if they don't, it's a huge bust. Then Tua got hurt, and it's like, okay, this season sucks. They did sell out to win last year. They 1,000% did. They wouldn't have traded for Tyreek. They would have done all the things they did. Now it's biting them in the ass. It happens. It's going to happen to teams. It happens to teams all the time. So they just have to bounce back. It's going to be difficult.
But it's going to be, and that's what I'm trying to say. It's going to be very difficult because you don't have those first round picks. You have a later second round pick,
and you have dude wearing a Cowboy shirt. Hey man, walking on water. I'm a Dolphins fan, but I'm a huge Cowboy supporter for my buddy Josh. I love Michael Parsons. So there you go. We're cool here. We're cool just because he wears a star on his chest, right, Josh? We're cool.
Yeah, definitely. Do I need to get a Dolphins hat on? I can do that real quick.
No, don't leave me. I don't want to do another solo show. I'm doing another solo show. Jesus freaking. Sorry. Excuse my language. Anyway, since he's going to get his Dolphins shirt, I wanted to thank you guys for watching because this is something. Oh, there he is.
Back with my Dolphins gear. What's up? Support my wife's team. Support my team.
Is that a chick hat?
How's it hanging? I don't know.
Well, the girls hats
feels
have
like
a smaller like dome and a shorter.
No, this one's just not. There you go. I don't know. This is the hat that's there. It does not look natural. It looks awful.
It looks great on you. It looks great.
But yeah, let's go back to the old dogfish, or we'll go back to nothing right now, just so you guys can see that I actually have hair. But that's what I'm saying is that the lack of first round picks is going to make it hard, and the lack of capital is going to make it hard.
And it does suck that other teams are getting better. You see the Jets getting better. You see the Patriots getting better somewhat. You see the Bills are just elite. And the Dolphins are kind of sitting here in limbo. You don't know what's going to happen. It could be a very tough offseason for Miami Dolphins fans. You just got to go, hey, trust the process. Hopefully Tua's fine.
How's that going in Philadelphia right now?
I don't know. I don't watch basketball, so I couldn't tell you. Or is that hockey? Or is that basketball? I don't know. I don't watch anything.
Yeah, this is true. I am known for hats and
beards and hats. Yes. But hey Josh, I have an idea. Gonna spring it onto you now. We mainly talked offense tonight. Did you notice that? Next week we're breaking down the other side of the ball and special teams as well, because we didn't really get there. We didn't really we touched on it, we brushed on it, we talked about Chubb, we talked about this, but I really want to talk about that defensive side, really break it down, because mainly tonight was an offensive show. So next week, guys, we will be doing the same situation but on the defensive side.
Yeah, we will be doing that. And then we will get into more of the prospects in later weeks as well. And then March 13th, we have our friend Ben Albright, who comes on our show every day of free agency. He'll be on here talking with us. Stay tuned, because the time might change for that. So,
oh yeah, that's why you got to hit the alert button, because when Benjamin Albright comes on, you want to be on for that. He always breaks some kind of news with us.
We have fun with Ben Albright. We really do. We ask him the tough questions. I know Josh Kimmel hates me for that, but I'll always ask him one tough question at the end. But yeah, he's fun to have on. And friend of the show, I can say. I can literally say that.
Yeah, he is. Wow, is he our first friend of the show?
Yeah, that's so good.
Trevor Harris is friend of the show. Ben Albright, friend of the show. We have friends. Good job.
Potential. I'm working on getting Dane Brugler on here. So Dane, if you hear this, please come on. I beg of you, please.
We're just burning all of our. hey, we're all just we're slapping our dicks on the table and go, hey guys, well I got this guest coming on. Well, I got this guest coming. Chill, Josh. All right, just let them.
Yeah.
Look, they're new viewers. If you're new, please hit that like button, subscribe. We're trying to get 1,000 subscribers before the NFL draft. That is our network goal. That
we're going to do that.
Own. I know we are.
So just know, be a part of that, because it's going to be a beautiful thing when we hit that. We have a lot of draft content going on. Stay with us. We're going to get to it. I'm tuning in. Did you hear this, Kimmel? I'm coming on this week and talking draft.
What time?
There is that.
Plug it. What time? Plug it.
I don't know. I haven't been given the time, but I will be there.
All right. And if you enjoy my nonsense, I'm going to plug my show Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. I have a fantasy football show, Once Upon a Sunday. We will be talking about pretty much what we talked about tonight, but we're talking about the Dolphins offense and the fantasy impact and how to improve it. If we hit 1,000, I'll shave my head. Yeah.
That's not hard for you, bud.
Yeah, he is pretty much bald. But all right, Josh, do you want to go ahead and log us out of here? I have no quote, by the way, except for.
What do you mean you don't have a quote?
I don't.
Well, this is horseshit right now, as I'm trying to find what I need to find. That's complete horseshit. You always have a quote. But anyway, make sure to like and subscribe. Fins Talk Sports Network, at Fins Talk Network, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, the Beer and Sports Podcast, at Mugs and Balls, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. I mean, if you want to send us something on Twitch, I will not be upset about it. And stay tuned, because at 9 o'clock, the East 10th Street Boys with Bobby and Alex is on there. It's always a great show. You'll see me on there talking in the comments, as you will most likely on every show in the network. But draft mode is back. I need to get into scouting more players, because I did watch a couple prospects while I've been trying to get back into it, because I've got a lot of stuff going on, but I've been trying to get back into it. And I have some hot takes on the top running back that everyone, I heard you on your show the other day. Who'd you compare Robinson to?
All day, baby. All day.
I can't hear you. All right.
All day.
What happened there, bud?
Can you not hear me? All day.
I can't hear you. You totally went dark on me. Can anyone else hear Kimmel, or is it me?
Can anyone hear me? I said Adrian Peterson.
I feel like it's not me. It's you. Oh, it is me. 100%.
This freaking guy. He's on vacation. He goes away. He doesn't know what's going on. Thank you, Brett. I know. But yes, I did compare Bijan Robinson to Adrian Peterson.
Hell?
And if the Miami Dolphins can land freaking Bijan in the draft, which won't happen,
I got music playing over here.
Insane.
I don't know what's going on.
Josh,
what were you saying?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Beautiful.
I said Bijan is the next Adrian Peterson. That's who I compare him to. I think he's going to be an absolute stud. And everyone loves it. Everyone. Yes. They can hear me, and yes, they love Adrian Peterson.
No, he's not the next Adrian Peterson. This is the thing. I don't think he's a running back at the next level. I think he's a slot receiver. You need to get him in space. He's not a very good between the tackles guy. But there's my quick little clip of that. And then I also have a nice little thing I might mention on our draft show about the quarterback at Alabama. But again, like and subscribe. We'll catch you another time. Kimmel doesn't have something to say, so we will just...